A key priority for the New South Wales Government is the rehabilitation of mines. The New South Wales Resources Regulator is responsible for the regulation of mining across the state. As part of our responsibilities, we ensure that rehabilitation is undertaken progressively during the entire life cycle of the mine, and mines are fully rehabilitated once mining is completed. We have an effective regulatory framework which sets strict rehabilitation and monitoring requirements.
The New South Wales Resources Regulator was set up as an independent regulator, primarily focusing on making sure that mining companies fulfil their rehabilitation obligations under the Mining Act.
As the regulator, we undertake compliance activities across the mining industry to ensure that rehabilitation is undertaken progressively and to a high standard. These activities include inspections, audits, and the issuing of statutory notices.
Rehabilitation is necessary to allow for the re-establishment of agricultural, industrial and recreational land that benefits the local community and encourages the return of native ecosystems. Examples of rehabilitated land include farming, ecotourism parks, solar panel farms and woodlands.
The key message for Yancoal is that mining is a temporary land use. Successful rehabilitation forms part of that process. We're very keen to ensure that we can pass on the land post-mining to ensure that there's a productive end use, whether that be for economic development or for biodiversity conservation.
The rehabilitation process starts well before mining begins. Plans are put in place to prepare for the future. Every mining project includes a rehabilitation strategy to return the land to a safe and sustainable land use. Our proactive site inspections ensure that rehabilitation performance is on track and that mine operators have effective systems to deliver progressive rehabilitation.
Justifiably, the community's got very high expectations about rehabilitation outcomes. Examples of good rehabilitation in the state would include achieving biodiversity outcomes. When we're looking at assessing biodiversity outcomes, we're looking for connectivity with undisturbed vegetation communities adjacent to the mine. We're looking for native fauna being able to use the resources available on rehabilitation areas. Another example would be agricultural land uses. And when we're assessing agricultural land uses, we're looking for sustainable production off those agricultural areas, similar to what might be achieved in a regional context.
We engage extensively with mine operators to ensure that they are applying best practice and meeting their rehabilitation obligations. And we share these leading practices across industry for others to adopt and apply.
The regulation of the rehabilitation and the progress that we're making is really important to make sure that things are looked after on the way. We get great feedback from the regulatory agencies about what they'd like to see and how we can make better progress towards the achievement of our rehabilitation objectives.
All mines must cover the full cost of rehabilitation by providing an environmental rehabilitation security deposit to the government. Currently, the New South Wales Government holds in excess of $3 billion in security deposits. This requirement guarantees that the New South Wales community will not bear the cost should a mine operator fail to meet their rehabilitation obligations.
I think it's important because we need to demonstrate to the community that what we're doing here in terms of rehab is being regulated. Regulation of the rehabilitation programs throughout our mines is important to Glencore as we see that provides the community with assurance that the rehab activities are meeting the requirements that are specified in our approvals. Ultimately, that puts the community at ease that these activities are being undertaken in accordance with our specified approvals and will meet that final criteria that we're aiming for.
Mines must demonstrate clear evidence that the rehabilitation of their mine site has been successful before any security is released. In the unlikely event that part of the rehabilitation fails, the mine operator is still responsible for rehabilitating the land long after the mine has closed. Be it 5, 10 or 20 years, we can hold them to account. Under the law, we have the power to require mine operators to rectify any rehabilitation issue. We have a strong regulatory approach which ensures that mines in New South Wales are fully rehabilitated to achieve sustainable land use now and into the future. Visit our website to find out more.